Hey guys, this is Chris Dewey with Pennsylvania Senior Benefits, and I owe you guys a huge apology. Many of you requested some information on the Pennsylvania Senior Assistance Burial Program, and I neglected to follow up. Facebook sent all your contact information. I think you put your name, phone number, email, and a hobby that you like just to know so we could match you up. They sent it to my junk box, my spam box. And for that, I'm sorry. I usually always follow up that day, especially when it comes to final expense and avoiding the kids paying for your funeral. So I apologize. We're going to make it up. All right. We're going to make it up, and we're going to find out if you're eligible. We're going to find out which of the 3 programs you can qualify for, state regulated burial programs. And at the end, I'm going to provide you with an offer for services that I don't think any agent has ever offered their prospective clients. And that's at the end. So let's move on. What is Pennsylvania Senior Benefits? What is a state-regulated burial program? Well, first thing is, to be a field underwriting agent for this state, you have to have with this program, an unblemished insurance record, clean record. And folks that are part of this network that are field underwriting agents in Pennsylvania, they need to have a track record of dealing with the disabled and with seniors on fixed incomes. And we do a lot of neat stuff besides help folks qualify for affordable programs, burial programs. We also apply for extra help for different types of Medicare programs. We've gotten tons of people, hundreds of people in the last few months qualified for extra help Medicare. If you're not familiar with that, you need to call us and we'll apply for you. It's free. Our services cost nothing. We can go to the Social Security website and we can apply for extra help. And here is a chart of the extra help program you can look at later. But what we do is A, free, B, helps the disabled and people on fixed incomes, and C, we are more of a health advocate, final expense advocate, more so than anything else. Okay, guys, on the left is my residential, my life and health South Carolina license. On the right's my Pennsylvania license. I actually do more business in Pennsylvania because of technology. We can do applications by the computer, by the phone. So the beautiful thing about it is, I do more business. People don't want to sit at the kitchen table anymore. If you can do everything by computer, email, we even have voice signatures. I do more business non-locally than I do locally. Okay, that's me. That's my agency, Senior Life Mutual. Big thing is I specialize in helping seniors and the disabled with Medicare and final expense. My girlfriend's a disability attorney, a Social Security disability attorney. She's part of the package. If you decide you want me to help you with the final expense program, I'm going to help you with Medicare. We're going to fund your life insurance through saving you money on Medicare. You got my girlfriend as far as claims. If an insurance company gives you a hard time, I always send her a letter, and the problem's usually gone at that point. All right, you know a little bit about me, about my significant other, and how we help people. So let's find out if you're eligible. First thing is you got to have a state driver's license or state ID. They need to have proof, that you're a resident. Second thing is you got to be between the ages of 50 and 89, or if you're disabled, you could be 40 or over. Okay, the next one is, do you have a valid checking account, or if you're on Medicaid, a Direct Express card? And that's for a couple reasons. The first reason is the Patriot Act, money laundering. You got to have a checking account in the United States, and they're just trying to tighten up on that money laundering stuff. Second reason why I always encourage my clients to just have it automatically taken out of on a certain day out of their bank account is they don't have to worry about their policy lapsing. God forbid you get in a car accident, you're in the hospital for a few months, you don't pay your premium. I'd obviously call you. I've got technology that gives me a warning if someone hasn't paid their premium, but the reality is you don't want your policy to lapse. Imagine if you paid your policy, I've seen it happen, 8-9 years, and you're used to sending a check out, and you get hurt and you're laid up for a while and you can't pay your premium, you lose your policy. So that's for your protection. Last thing is, this is income based. You need to make less than $70,000 a year in income. All right? So, congratulations. You're eligible. What we're going to do now is we're going to see which program you qualify for. Okay, guys, one more step before we get to which of the three programs, since you are eligible, which of the three programs do you qualify for, and the health questions. But before we do that, just think about this. What's the reason? Why do you need a final expense policy? The overwhelming majority of you just have nothing in place. Your term insurance or your group policy with your employer, you thought it came with you, it didn't, or you had the bad kind of insurance where the premiums went up every year. Bottom line is you got nothing in place, and if you die tomorrow, someone else is going to pay the whole thing. Usually the kids. Second reason, I do get that quite a bit, they just want to add a little bit to their policy. They took the policy out 10 years ago. They see the inflation. Everything's going skyrocketing as far as inflation. So they might pick up $3,000 or $4,000 extra just to cover inflation. And third reason is grandkids. They want to leave a little bit extra. Okay? So, which of those three do you fit in? Okay, so you're eligible. What do we do now? Well, couple things. We need to find the right funeral insurance company that's the best fit for the health issues you have. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look here. So every life insurance company, they look at the answers to the health questions differently. And their final price, according to their specific guidelines, their final rate is dependent upon, let me give you an example. Last week, there was a guy that had COPD. He didn't have oxygen. He didn't take oxygen. He took, like the asthma sprays and the inhalers. And he said, the only thing I can get is Colonial Penn, guaranteed acceptance. Chris, they won't, if I die the first 2 years, my family gets nothing. They just send the premiums back. Is there anything you can do? Can you find me something different? And I looked at a couple companies. One is Sentinel Security. If you have COPD and it's under control and you don't take oxygen, they'll give you a level rate. What does that mean? You get insurance from day one. Other companies like Royal Neighbors, great with diabetics. Always get a preferred rate with them. So different companies have specific guidelines, okay? The key is getting the best value. The key to getting the best value is finding a company that's going to consider your overall health and lifestyle favorably. For instance, Prosperity, great with smokers. They don't even penalize smokers. It's almost like the same rate. My job is to match you with a company that's going to give you the best value. And I'm going to show you how we do that right now. Okay, guys, we are at the health questions. So up here, you can't see it. They ask you if you smoke tobacco. Questions, that's question 1. Questions 2 through 7 are the knockout serious questions. We're talking AIDS. We're talking Alzheimer's. Have you had heart surgery, stroke, or heart attack in the last 18 months? Cancer. Serious stuff. So just remember, if you answer yes to questions 2 through 7, you will get what's the third. It's the third state-regulated program. It's at the bottom called Guaranteed Acceptance. You're immediately accepted, but here's the problem. If you die within the first 2 years of the policy, of it being issued, your wife, kids, whoever the beneficiary is, will not get any death benefit, but they will get their premiums back. All right? Think of Colonial Penn. They're more expensive than the graded or the preferred, but you get insurance immediately, and you just hopefully you don't pass away in the first 2 years. Otherwise, your family gets the premiums back, but they don't get the death benefit. All right, that's just something you want to keep in mind. And so what we can look at now is this: questions 8 and 9. Questions 8 and 9, you can answer yes to these, and still get a graded death benefit. All right, and what they ask is, have you had stroke, heart attack, cardiomyopathy during the past 24 months? Have you had heart surgery, pacemaker, valve, any angioplasty, bypass? So if you have, you get the graded benefit. Graded benefit, if yes to either of these questions, you get a graded benefit. It's got a 2-year waiting program, but the good news is that a lot of these companies will pay 30% of the death benefit if you die in the first year, 70% of the benefit if you die in the second year. After the second year, it's 100%. So graded plans are less expensive than guaranteed acceptance plans like Colonial Penn. Now, they also ask, have you had COPD or Lou Gehrig's? COPD is interesting. If you have COPD without oxygen, we might be able to get you something better than the graded. We might be able to get you the preferred rating. So just remember, questions 2 through 7, you can't see them, but those are the knockout. Do you have AIDS? Do you have cancer? Have you had a heart attack? Questions 8 and 9, you can still get pretty good insurance even if you have COPD or you had a heart attack, in the last 2 years. Okay, guys, I just want you to understand real quick. This particular program, the final expense state-regulated program, you can still get a level or preferred rate if you have the following conditions: depression, COPD, type 2, some companies even a heart attack after 1 year. What I just went over is kind of a general, the differences between guaranteed acceptance, which is the lowest, the graded, and then the preferred. But it's not all set in stone. As you can see, look at some of these conditions: heart attack over a year ago, stroke over a year ago. Bipolar, there are a couple, there's 2 companies I know of that will give you a level rate. You just got to let me help you. And you got to let me. Okay, guys, so now we're going to do an example. We understand that insurance companies, they base their rate in which of the 3 programs you qualify for based on health questions. Let's do 3 examples. Foster Brooks, one of my favorite guys on the Dean Martin show that I used to watch. He was hilarious. He played the drunk. Well, Foster Brooks was born in 1963, okay? He is not healthy. Foster Brooks has cirrhosis of the liver, obviously. If anybody has ever seen that skit when he was the drunk doctor, hilarious. So, anyway, Foster Brooks wants $10,000 worth of coverage. He's got cirrhosis, so he's going to have to get the guaranteed issue. Now, remember, guaranteed issue is the third of the 3 state-regulated programs. No health questions. Think of Colonial Penn or one of the companies you see on TV. They are the most expensive of the 3 programs, but you know what? When you have cirrhosis of the liver, you're going to have to pay a little bit. Now, keep in mind, guaranteed issue, you've got to make it 2 years. If you die in the first 2 years, your beneficiary, your wife or kids will get the premiums back, but they're not going to get any death benefit. So let's take a look. For a $10,000 policy, he was born in 1963, so that would make him 56. He lives in Pennsylvania. So his monthly premium is going to be $58.55. So let's take a look. Let's do something here. All right, we've already established. So I looked at, and again, this software, and I've got 3 other quote tools. I've got technology coming out of my ears. But what it enables me to do is find you the best rate. So American General, AIG, $58.55. So they're dependable. They're solid. That's who we're going to go with. And if we decided, if you're on the phone with me, I just click on this, and then we go straight to the application. And it's a online. It's a application. It's called an e-application. Takes about 20 minutes. We fill it out, and you've got insurance that day, like within minutes. So let's take a look at Carol Burnett from the Carol Burnett Show. Carol was born in 1953. which would make her 66 years old. All right, she lives in Pennsylvania. And she thinks she's, I asked her all the questions, and she said, you know what, I'm healthy. She has no COPD, she's got cholesterol, blood pressure. She's got, she's borderline diabetic, but it doesn't matter because the questions are what matter. So, all right, it doesn't matter which one of these companies we put up. So she thinks she's going to get the level or the preferred, all right? She wants a $10,000 policy. That's the average cost of a funeral. So we're going to get the quotes. And what do we have here? We've got Mutual of Omaha, who I like. I mean, I do a lot of Mutual of Omaha business. They're dependable. $41, all right? And these are the best rates. Now, if you went down to State Farm or Allstate, try to get the same policy, you're talking about $65, $70 a month. These are the most competitive companies in final expense for a female. Now, she said, I forgot to tell you, Chris, I smoke. All right? So let's see what the smoking would be. All right? And then, you know what I do? I ask her, what meds are you on? We just want to make sure, before we do either the phone interview or I submit an e-application. And after I speak with her a little bit, she says, I forgot to tell you, I'm bipolar. So, if you go back and look on the questions, they do ask questions regarding, that type of stuff. I didn't realize she's bipolar. She told me, so I put it in my underwriting. She's bipolar. She's got bipolar disorder, all right? Could that change anything? Well, as it is right now, a smoker, $56 a month for a $10,000 policy for a 66-year-old. Not too shabby, but wait a minute. Once I talked to her a little bit more and dug a little deeper, which is what I have to do as a field underwriter, whoa. Now look, level, which is the best you can get, this bipolar kind of changed things, all right? So Mutual of Omaha says for bipolar, except if greater than 4 years since diagnosis. Look at what the software does. It even tells me, it breaks down exactly what the stipulations are. Phoenix Life said, we'll accept for a preferred or level rate if taking 3+ medications or hospitalization in the last 2 years, they're going to decline. Everybody else, decline. So you work with me, we save time, we save paperwork, we get it right the first time. The one thing you don't want to do is apply and get declined when you could have got accepted, because that goes on your MIB, and it could be harder to get it down the road. So what we want to do is get it right the first time. We know Mutual of Omaha is going to take her if she's had 4 years since the diagnosis. Phoenix Life is going to give her the best rate if she's taken 3 medications. As long as she's not taken 3+ medications for it or has been hospitalized in the past 2 years, if that's happened, she's declined. So I asked her, Carol, what's going on? When were you diagnosed? Oh, I was diagnosed 10 years ago. All right, good. Mutual of Omaha will take you. But you know what, Chris? I take 5 medications for it. Ooh. All right. Now what? Now what do we do? She's not going to get it. All right? So, Prosperity Life, which is great for smokers, and she's a smoker, and Mutual of Omaha will accept. When it says no data, when it says no data, that's what I need to call my friends in underwriting, find the right person who I have a relationship with, and ask them, and I do, and ask them exactly what's going on with, is there any way we get a preferred rate? All right, but Omaha, they'll take her as remember I said, kind of healthy. She can get a graded policy. So let's see Omaha and Prosperity Life. So what we got to do, we have got to change. So we're going to get a quote this time, but it's graded. It's graded, which means she's going to have to wait 2 years, all right, before they pay the death benefits. Okay, so actually Liberty's Graded. So there were some more companies that popped up. So, guys, I love Royal Neighbors, and they're pretty good with bipolar. They're pretty good. I mean, they're not going to just jack up the rates on somebody who's got bipolar. We're very competitive, 64, 63, 65, 63, and 71. So, you know what? We're going to go with Royal Neighbors because they've got a great reputation. But as you can see, the rate is 63.36. It started out at 41. Found out she's a smoker, it went up. Found out she's bipolar. But guys, this is it. This is what she needs. All right? She has her daughter's going to pay for it. So she told me her daughter's going to pay for it. She doesn't want her daughter to pay for it because her daughter's got 3 kids. She's getting divorced. And if she ever died and had to make her daughter pay for it, the financial and emotional hardship would wreck her daughter. So she's going to go with Royal Neighbors. So, boom, we're going to save that quote. And then what we can do, guys, we can actually launch the application. We can knock this baby out, and her daughter never has to worry about paying for Carol Burnett's funeral. All right? So, last one we're going to do is George Jefferson. He's moving on up, baby, because we're going to the healthy preferred level status. So I'm talking to George, and let's see here. George was born in 1940. That makes him 79. He's 79 years old. All right? And he's in Pennsylvania, where some of the best quarterbacks ever have come from, including my favorite, Joe Namath. All right, so he is... we ask him some questions. I got cholesterol. I had a huge heart attack in 2015. Well, wait a minute, George, that's okay. That huge heart attack took place more than 2 years ago. How you doing now? Oh, I'm doing great. I walk 2 miles a day. My cholesterol's high. I got blood pressure. I take metformin for diabetes, but I don't take the insulin shots. Guess what? He's a preferred rate, even though he's got cholesterol, blood pressure, diabetes. He had a massive heart attack in 2015. That was more than 2 years ago. All right? So your average agent will say, hey, let's go with guaranteed issue. No, we're going to go with preferred. And I just type this stuff in, but all the companies will populate, even though it's Omaha. So, all right, let's see. Let's get those quotes. Okay, that's graded. That's wrong. Okay, level. He's healthy, guys. He's not graded. So, a 79-year-old for a $10,000 policy, healthy preferred, Mutual of Omaha, comes in at $119. And why does George want it? Well, George has 3 kids. They're scattered all over the United States. His wife passed away, and you know what? He had to use most of his savings to pay for his wife's funeral. He don't have the savings to pay for his. He don't want his kids to remember him by the dad that basically left them with a $10,000 bill. So, again, it's the same story, guys. One of the most loving, selfless things that you can do for your family is take care of this today. All right? And I'm going to take my life insurance hat off and put my dad hat on. I've got a cousin in Binghamton that had to pay for his dad's funeral. It crushed him emotionally. It wasn't so much financially. It was, wow, we just started to develop a relationship again. And, okay, I get a $10,000 bill. Thanks for the going away present. And I'm being real here, guys, because the reason why you guys filled out those forms is because you know deep down inside the right thing to do is just get this taken care of now. And I'm going to help you. We're going to save money on Medicare. So 79-year-old level, Mutual of Omaha, $119 a month. And you know what? He never has to worry about his kids paying for his funeral. We're gonna save at least, we're going to knock off $30, $40, maybe even $50 off that, because in October we're going to analyze his situation. We're going to break his medications down, his doctors. If he's got a supplement, we're going to get him to a better supplement that's less. So if he's got an Advantage plan, we're gonna figure out how we can best afford his medications, put him on special extra help programs. All right, so there you go. So that concludes our quote engine, my demonstration of the technology we have. It's nuts. And this technology goes to all the insurance companies and gets their information daily. Their underwriting guidelines, their premiums, everything. Okay, so couple things here. These plans, you hear burial, whole life, funeral policy, final expense. They're all the same thing. They're whole life, permanent policies. Death benefits can never decrease. You take out a $10,000 policy, you pay $60 a month. Those premiums can never increase. It's always a level $60. No medical exams. But just remember, this is real insurance. This isn't nightmare stories you hear about your neighbor, their premium goes up or their death benefit decreases. This is the real deal, okay? This is permanent life insurance. Earlier in the presentation, that I'm going to guarantee something for you. And my guarantee is this. You've already seen my expertise as far as finding you the best final expense policy. I'm going to do the other things, though. I'm going to call you in October. We're going to check your prescriptions. We're going to pinch pennies. We're going to find a way to either mail order your drugs, have you start using the free over-the-counter stuff that your Medicare plan pays for, all the benefits that 90% of you don't even use that you have. All right? If you have a Medicare supplement, you're paying $160 a month. I'll do my darndest to try to knock that down to $120, $130 a month. Most of you have Advantage plans. I don't see too many people with supplements. But I'll tell you what, having someone like me in your corner in October, looking at every doctor, every drug, all the fine print. Guys, I worked for Humana for years. That's all I sold was Humana products. I know how these companies work. And you know what? If they don't own up to their side of the fence, we've got our disability attorney that has beaten, she's made United Healthcare pay back one of my clients. We've got all kinds of surgical procedures approved because of her. You've got legal advice. You've got Medicare final expense. I'm also a registered investment advisor. I don't use that. I refer that to somebody smarter than me in Syracuse, New York, who's brilliant. But you've got a team of people, and when you call me within 1 hour, I will get back to you. If I'm on the phone or something, give me 15, 20 minutes, but I get back to you. Chris, my plan won't cover this particular drug. Could you help me? I'll work with your doctor. I'll do the pre-authorization. I'll get your mail order hooked up. I will fight with the insurance companies for you. We will give you the best advice that you could possibly get, and you pay us nothing. I view myself more as a health advocate, insurance advocate for my clients. My girlfriend, she sticks up for people that can't stick up for themselves, and she's kind of taught me the way. And if you want to work with somebody that actually cares, then I really suggest that you give me a call. Okay, so it's over with. We're done. I'm going to leave you a calendar. It's called Calendly, and you can set up an appointment with me. I'll follow up with you in a day or two, but I'm not going to leave you hanging because I can help, okay? So I'll leave some information about my website that's being developed, and what's going to happen is it's going to be developed for you. When you have questions on Medicare, you can go to that website. Disability, it'll have information on that. Medicare quotes, it'll have information on that. That's a work in progress. But I'd love to help you, and you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.